everyone. So we're going to have Javier start his presentation in a few seconds. So if everyone wants to take a seat so that there's not a lot of distractions and stuff going on, that would be awesome.
You move mountains. Oh, we're ready?
Yeah, I think you start. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. All right, cool. If I could have everyone do me a favor really quickly. I need everyone to hold their left finger up in the air. Hold your left finger up in the air. Now take your right hand and hold it out like this. Now what I want you to do is put your left finger into the palm of the person on your left side's right hand. Put your left finger in their palm, left finger in their palm. All right? Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to say go. When I say go, and not a second before I say the word go, I want you to pull your finger out of their hand and grab the finger that's in your hand. Does everybody understand what's about to happen? Pull and grab. Everybody got it? Here we go. Oh, don't go. I just said go twice. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, try again. That was practice. Left finger, right hand. 1. Calm down. 2, 3. Wait for it. Go. All right, now let's switch it around. Really quickly, we'll do right finger, left hand. Right finger, left hand. Right finger, left hand. Switch it around. Wait for me to say the G word. Do not begin until I say the G word. 1, 2, 3, go. Cool. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, let me ask you something really quickly. When we were playing that game, how did it make you feel? What were some of the feelings that you had? How many of you felt a little nervous while we were playing that game? Right? How many felt a little anxious, a little stressed out, right? A little awkward. It was weird for everyone, right? What you experienced in that silly little game is something that we experience every day, right? And that is a fear of failure and pressure to perform. Whether we're at school, fear of failure, pressure to perform. At work, at home, on playing a sport, performing your music or your art. When you're with your friends, fear, failure, pressure to perform. When you're on social media, think about what we do, our activity on social media. Fear, failure, pressure to perform. That's why it takes 20 times to get that selfie exactly right, because it's a fear, failure, and pressure to perform. And then we go back to check how many likes we got, how many comments we got, how many tweets and reposts we got, because of fear, failure, and pressure to perform. We all go through this. We all experience it on a daily basis. I'll tell you a story. When I was 8 years old, I was at my cousin's house. Me and my cousin, my older cousin, and his 2 friends, we were all playing in the backyard. We're having fun or whatever. My cousin had this huge tree in their backyard. My cousin and his friends decide they're going to climb that tree. So they go climbing up the tree, and they're telling me to come with them. I'm smaller than them. I'm younger than them. I'm not even as brave as them. But I love my cousin. I think he's the coolest guy in the world. I'm trying to impress this guy. I want him to like me and think I'm cool, but I'm too afraid to climb the tree. They get probably, 50 feet up in the tree, it seemed like. And they're like, Javier, come on, come on. I don't want to climb the tree because I'm small and I'm scared. But I got to act like I'm not afraid. They're calling me a punk and they're making fun of me, calling me a sissy, a scaredy cat or whatever. So I start to climb up this tree because of this fear of failure and pressure to perform. Didn't want to disappoint them, right? So I'm climbing up this tree. I get about halfway up to where those guys are, and I'm good. I'm fine where I'm at. They're like, Javier, come on, keep climbing, keep climbing. I'm scared. I don't like how high I've gotten in the tree. I don't want to go any further, but I've got this fear, failure, pressure to perform because I want these guys to like me and think I'm cool. So I keep climbing, trying to get up to where they're at. I take a step on a branch. The branch breaks. I dive about 30 or 40 feet, hit the ground, broke both my arms at the same time. I'm screaming. I got bones sticking out. I'm screaming. I look like a drunk velociraptor or something. I'm just like, ah! My cousin and his friends came down the tree, and all they can think of at that moment is, how do we get this boy to stop crying? That's all they care about, right? They don't care about my arms being broke. They just want me to stop crying. They give me some of the dumbest advice I ever heard in my entire life. My cousin was like, Javier, if you don't stop crying, the doctors are going to cut your arms off. Like, that's what I need to hear in that moment. So I'm trying to hold it in. I'm like, right? Got that balloon letting out the air out of the balloon face going on thing. Then one of his friends gave me even dumber advice than that. He said, Javier, just don't look at him. Like, that's what's going to work, right? Like, I'm just in there like, oh, yeah, this is so much better, right? I'll just never look at my arms ever in life ever again. Fear of failure, pressure to perform, got me up in a tree, got me down from that tree a lot quicker than I expected to get down from that tree, broke both my arms 3 days before my 3rd grade year of school started. That was on a Friday. School started that Monday. I remember the doctor saying I was going to have to be in those casts for the next 6 to 8 months, or 6 to 8 weeks. I thought that meant I wouldn't have to go to school for another 6 to 8 weeks. But I was absolutely wrong. Showed up the first day of school looking like an idiot. See that picture right there of me with the cast? I promise it exists, and it'll be on there tomorrow. Right? Fear, failure, pressure to perform is what we experience all the time. About 2 years ago, I met with a group of 20 young people from across the state of Ohio. And we were having a conversation about this fear, failure, pressure to perform. And what they shared was that, they were struggling with the idea that so many of their friends, so many of their classmates, so many of their siblings, so many of them were struggling with this fear, failure, and pressure to perform and making unhealthy choices in terms of how they cope with it, how they get through it. I met a young man, and it was around that same time I met a young man who I was working in a school, and prior to going to the school, I met with the administrators. One of the administrators, the principal said, we had to get rid of class rankings for our seniors. He said, a lot of schools are doing that. Let me tell you why we got rid of our class rankings. He said, our highest ranking senior, it was a private school, he said, our highest ranking senior has a 4.5 GPA. Our lowest ranking senior has a 4.2. So it makes no sense for us to rank these students from highest to lowest, top to bottom. He said, however, the high levels of stress, anxiety, depression, fear, failure, pressure to perform is off the charts. Our young people are abusing substances, they're abusing pills, some of them are engaging in self-harm and have even attempted to complete suicides because of this fear, failure, and pressure to perform. One of the young men I met from the school, varsity basketball player, 4 whatever on the spectrum, came up to me after I presented. He was shaking and in tears. He was having an anxiety attack. He said, I don't know how to tell my parents that I don't want to go to Harvard to study law, that I want to be an elementary school teacher. I'm scared to death to tell my parents what my dreams are, what my passion is. Fear, failure, pressure to perform. And young people across the state of Ohio, across our country, are experiencing this at incredibly high levels. And this group of young people that I met with wanted to figure out ways to teach their friends, their classmates, their siblings, and themselves how to cope and thrive even in the midst of extremely stressful and difficult circumstances and situations. And that's where the Be Present Ohio campaign originated from. A campaign started by young people for young people to teach them positive coping and thriving skills. Not that their circumstances are necessarily going to change, not that their situations or their environments are necessarily going to change, but their response to their circumstances, situations, and environments are something that can change and something that can be controlled and managed, and blah, 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 blah. So there we go. Is that good enough? All right, cool. Tune in tomorrow for the rest of our story. It's weird. Yeah, I'll resend it. Yeah.
And we'll add that in tomorrow.
No worries.
Are you heading out?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, speakers come in. And you got speakers here. Wait, Shin, did you say 9:30 for tomorrow? It says it on the
9:30 for
agenda that we
speakers.
gave you. Right. Tomorrow we want everyone showing up.
Probably
Well, we said no later than 9.
I would say
that everyone should have.
speakers are like at 9:30. We said volunteers at 9.
Volunteers definitely.
We're setting up at we're going at 8:30.
Oh no, I know. I know.
You're good at 9:30.
Okay.
All right, cool.
9:30 was
So one other question, because I sent the email with my slides, but I want to make sure that what I'm sending is okay, which is it's a
Yeah.
Be Present Ohio. Did you see the slides?
No, I haven't.
It,
We
it's
have to still add Rodney.
Okay.
because I want to make sure it's
Oh no, I
appropriate.
haven't.
It's the Be Present Ohio campaign. One of the slides is the campaign logo, and it has the website and the hashtag. So I didn't know if that was appropriate, because it's not selling a product. There's nothing you can buy, but
Like, I don't see anything.
It's an idea.
yeah, it's an idea. It's
It's an
definitely
idea.
not a product. We're not selling it. There's nothing. There's no profit from it.
Right. Yeah, it's a like charitable, like, you know, like it's a good thing.
I
Like,
think that sounds perfectly
we
fine.
messed up
If we
with
find
Ted
anything
went out of
wrong
their
with
way to like shut us down for that, you know, we messed up.
It goes with your talk, so
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
all
Yeah, I
right.
just want to make sure because I know they're
Very
right.
picky.
Would you like this for tomorrow? I also
Yeah,
have the
absolutely.
agenda on just the order of things. So thank you so much. Yes.
Joe's gonna hang around and just figure out the sound with that guy if we can drop it just a little bit.
Okay.
Because the only problem is I don't think everyone's gonna yell like him, but just what he was yelling, it was peaking in here. So just it
Let's just say something real quick to make sure. This is
So we're gonna let everyone know that from now on we're gonna start following through the order.
yeah. Okay. All right. Hello? Does this work? It does not work. Okay. Hey guys. So from now on, we're gonna